Hi everybody, 16th of September, another day in my daily diaries of how I look after my wife with Parkinson's and dementia. It's about 9 o'clock again. It's nearly 9:15. I got away early tonight. Angie was fast asleep. I left about 7:30, about 20 to 8. I've just been up to Morrison's getting a few bits and a new single duvet. Actually, I've got some in loft, but I can't be minded at the minute because, by all intents and purposes, they're bringing her home tomorrow. As long as all the care package is put in place. But they said yesterday and today this morning said either today or tomorrow. Well, I've not heard anything since they said that this morning. So, and I knew it wouldn't be today. There's too much to get involved to get ready and get set up for it to be out today. I'm still a bit dubious whether it'll even happen tomorrow, but as long as it does, it's the sooner the better, to be honest. Today, I got there this morning, I got there, 7:20. I walked on the ward. I pressed the buzzer to get on because it's a locked ward, you see, because there's some sort of, even though it's like a ladies' ward, but there's quite a few like dementia ones, but some pretty bad ones, wanderers. So you have to buzz in. So somebody let me in, and one of the healthcare assistants said, "Oh, sorry, love, I think you're a little bit too early." She was nice about it. I've seen her before. She always smiles and says hi. She said, "I think you're a little bit too early. We've not even started, giving people a wash yet." I just said, I had a bit of a discussion yesterday. I said, all I've got to do is mention John's campaign. She went, "Oh, okay, right, come on, I'll walk you through." So whether she knew about it already and was, abiding by the rules, or whether there's like a memo or something that went out yesterday, I don't know. But, so we'll see it morning, because I'll be there again at the same time in the morning. She's fast asleep though. They said she's had a normal night again. Sleep, but they wake her up every 2 or 2 hours to turn her, you see. So, she's not getting a proper sleep, is she? Even though she can go well away. So anyway, so I woke her up. I didn't wake her up. We just sort of whispered, "Angie, it's on me. I'm back." She didn't wake up straight away. I took my call and sat down, sat beside Eldorado and just started chatting away. And about 20 minutes, and she opened her eyes. Morning, so she didn't reply. She just looked at me like with big wide eyes. I said, go back to sleep and I'll wake you up for your breakfast. So she did. But by the time the breakfast comes round, it was about 8:30. And again, I just got her a yoghurt. The porridge is too much for her at that time in the morning. But no, she wouldn't eat it. She had probably 4 or 5 little teaspoonfuls, if that. So I'll give her over after a while. You can't, you can badger and persuade her and come on, just one more, and just all you've got left is a couple and all that sort of stuff, like kidology, like you do with a kid really. But when her eyes were still closing like that and mouth was shut, I just give over. I thought there's no point. She did have a bit of water. When I say a bit of water, a good sort of few teaspoonfuls of a juice, with the powder thing in it. And then she slept for a couple of hours, and she woke up about 11ish, wide awake then, eyes were open, looking at me and listening to me rambling on about all sorts. Just sat beside her holding her hand and rambled on. And then the dinner turned up. Too early for me, 11:30, 25 to 12. Too early anyway, but I mean, considering Angie's only just woke up like 40 minutes ago, and you're trying to have a 3-course meal. So she didn't have any of the soup. She tried the soup, but when I tasted it, I thought, she ain't going to like this. There's some sort of a herb or a spice or something in it. So, after about 3 or 4 spoonfuls of really persuading her, I just said, "Angie, you don't like this soup, do you? Squeeze me hand if you don't like it." And she squeezed me hand, so I give up with that. But our meal was that blended lasagna, vegetarian lasagna, with like blended carrots to one side, blended mashed potato and blended peas with a bit of a sauce thing. And she actually ate all the peas, all the carrots, all the potatoes, and into the lasagna thing. But again, I tasted that and I thought she won't like this, but she had a good go at it, so that was pleasing. And then she ate all the yogurt. That was hard to get her to eat the yogurt, but she did only the little tubs. Not a massive, the bigger than the baby ones, but the next one up. So, but she did manage it. She was the last one to finish, but I just carried on and carried on. They kept coming up, said, "She finished yet?" I said, no, not yet. You take the tray away though, if that's what you're waiting for. So it took her, a good sort of 40 minutes. I just persevered with it. I kept stopping halfway through and giving her some of the cordial. So again, she had a lot of that. So over today, she has had a lot of fluid in comparison. Obviously, it's still nowhere enough what you need, but in comparison, so I think that's where the not having the drip now is sort of kicking in. Her body knows she needs this fluid. So praising and that, and then she went to sleep afterwards. Right, and you get back to sleep. Remember, fluid, food, and sleep. I keep saying that to her: fluid, food, and sleep. It's what you need now to get ready, get better. And telling her what about coming home. You got to get your home. You have to come home in an ambulance. And get the. So I said when she comes home, they'll come out the door. What was she called? The fast track woman come out to see me. Now that I thought it meant like she'll hurry it up, but no, she said it's equivalent of you don't have to go through all the questionnaire and the form fillings of whether you're going to have to pay for it or you pay some of it like I do with the other stuff that I get. So no, we just fast track it because the NHS will pay for it all, because it's the same as leaving her in hospital. If you say no, you don't want her home, we have to pay to her leaving hospital. So, and to be blunt, they know it's not going to go on forever. And I've got to get my head around that. She's not coming home to get better and we go out and we're on holiday next year. I'm getting my head around that. I do know that. I don't want it, but I'm getting my head around it. I have to do. For me, I have to do. It's reality, but I've got to do that for my own sanity and just to stop. So I don't want to keep breaking down in front of Angie. I'm not doing that. I keep persuading and talking to her that, you need to get your strength back up, and then you'll be able to sit up and watch TV. So I want to get to bed. I've been in Morrison's and I got, like I said, a new quilt. Got some soups because I spoke to the salt woman. She gave me a right load of information, and she gave me the address of where I can buy them blended meals, ready done for me, as well as a few of you who have been watching with you. Give me, I think it's the same address. But I'll order them. But in the meantime, I said, am I all right just getting a load of, like cream of chicken soup, because she likes that. And some little yogurts and like little tubs of custard. And that's me thinking of like food, but fluidy type food as well. So it might kill two birds with one stone. And she likes mashed potato, so Morrison's do their own. And she loves them, so I've got another couple of packets of that. So she could just have mashed potato mixed up with butter. Again, nice and easy for her to swallow, because she's not eating loads of them. We're not talking about big meals. So I don't have to be thinking about big meals yet. So that's my plan, it's why so I'm trying to be ahead. If she does come home tomorrow, at least I've got food in, I can start giving her. And like I was saying to her, when in hospital here, the meal times are then and then, and you've no option. Well, at home, if you want to lie in bed and and just have fluids and not have anything to eat till 11 o'clock, then that's what you can do. Even you can eat at 2:30 in the morning. So it's got to be easier. You know, on that side of it, it's got to be. It's got to be. But I'll be much, much more relieved once she's home. You know, it's like when I leave the hospital, I'm on edge. I'm on edge. Not that, you know, anything untoward, but I don't want a phone call. I don't want that phone call. I don't want to be told on the phone. You know, so I'm much better when she gets home, and then I can just badger her and, you know, hopefully get her strength back up and get as long with her now as we possibly can. You know, longer. Yeah, that's me. That's me way. That's what I'm thinking. It's, you know, hey, it's hard. It's hard. I know it comes to us all at some point, but you don't really think of that. It's like you just think you're going to grow old. You know, like, you know, your 90s, 80s, 90s, and still be sort of plodding about. As a couple, you just think that's always going to be. And this ain't going to happen. The best will in the world, and as strong as, you know, I might be, as strong-minded as I might be, I know it ain't going to happen. I know that. Right, so I've just made a brew. I've nothing to eat. I'm just going to sort this bed out. I've got this new duvet on. Get a duvet quilt on, single, you see, and then tidy the bedroom up ready. Because I've just been getting in bed and getting out, hampering on and getting out and getting off, leaving the house, so need to tidy up. So I've texted with Amber the cleaner. I told her there's no point in coming cleaning tomorrow but she said I wanted to do some ironing. I said, will you come and pick it and take it home? So she said no. She said, I've not got an iron good enough, and so I think I'll probably just text her back after and say, well, call, because she calls 11:30 till 1:30, and with the best will in the world, we ain't going to be back here between 11:30 and 1:30. So I might tell her just to come and sort of just clean the bathroom, really, nowhere else needs doing, and just do a load of ironing for me. Because I do my own, I've always done my own ironing, and I like doing my own ironing. I find it therapeutic. Put my music on and just get away, and for the last sort of 18 months or so, I've been doing Angie's ironing, but I don't enjoy doing that. So Amber's been doing Angie's ironing for the last 2 times she's been here, but I've no time to do my own ironing in a minute, so I'm going to get Amber to do a right pile of that, I think, tomorrow, so she can come like she did last week, come in while I'm at the hospital and just give the bathroom a clean, because I'm using the bathroom twice a day, so wash the walls and clean the bath and stuff like she does, and then just do some ironing and get off. And at least the place will, you know, look a little bit respectable when every man and his dog turns up tomorrow. You know, we've got district nurse, you know, penciled in, so I don't know if they're all going to turn up. Carers 4 times a day, so I'm presuming the carers have got to come tomorrow. I'm presuming so anyway. So, we don't need the hoist. We don't need the hoist, because somebody said about going home. I said, I think the hoist will be the biggest setup. And she just said, well, does Angie get out of bed? I said, well, not at the moment she doesn't, she can't. You know, I said, she used to do, but I used to lift her out. I said, but I believe the hoist is for the carers. She said, yeah, but unless she's getting out of bed, they don't need a hoist. The hoist is to get her out of bed. So no, you know, until the time comes when she's needing to be lifted out of bed, then the hoist. So that won't be an hold up. So that was one godsend. You know, so yeah, I'm staying positive. You know, just walking around Morrison's, even though it was late tonight, and I thought, you're looking at people, looking at couples, and you just start thinking, you know, why? It should be us, and it's, you know, people older than us, and it's like, well, that's life, I suppose. It's life. And like I always say, it is what it is. And it could be a lot worse. You know, this could have happened donkeys years ago, so got to count my blessings. Got to count my blessings. I've had 47 years up to now, you know, with this woman, so it's not too bad. I think a lot of people would have swapped with me, you know, so. Right, that's a long waffle. I'm going to get off. finish this brew, get this bed made, get myself something to eat, get in the shower and get in bed early. And get out again early and get over to hospital early. So, as per usual, thanks for listening. And you take care now. Bye.